Vroom, vroom. Welcome on into another Highline podcast. I'm, of course, Jason. He's, of course, William. And we look forward to talking with you guys on this week's upcoming NASCAR race. And, of course, we'll also take a second to recap last week's race there at the Watkins Glen. William, what's going on? How are you doing, man? And how was your weekend?
Man, this past weekend, let me tell you, we saw some exciting racing. Oh my gosh, I can't get my words right. In the Cup and Xfinity, and we saw some controversy starting to boil over at the conclusion of Sunday's race between two teammates, the 5 car of Kyle Larson and the 9 of Chase Elliott. And they're obviously still talking about it. And my opinion about it all is that Chase Elliott has got to get used to it. He's a hypocrite. He done it in the past and get surprised that it happens back to him. As a racing incident is all I'm trying to say. And Chase Elliott has no right at all to be going out there and saying Kyle Larson's in the wrong. But besides that, Monday, we haven't really seen much in the NASCAR world. Kyle Busch announcement should be coming out here in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. But besides that, really ain't much going on.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to piggyback on that Kyle Busch thing. I'm looking forward to that. I know I jumped over to your channel a couple of weeks ago where you've uploaded a couple of videos on thoughts on where Kyle Busch could land and some really moving pieces all together with 3 or 4 drivers kind of all shuffling. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing where those rumors end up being. It sounds like we agree on the Chase Elliott and the Kyle Larson situation. We'll, of course, talk about that in a little bit more in depth when we do our recap there on Watkins Glen. Let's go ahead and kick it off. First, we'll recap Watkins Glen at the Gold Bowling there at Watkins Glen, and then we'll preview this upcoming race of the Coke Zero 400. And, of course, we'll give you our picks for a chance to win $10,000 over on the Nbc Sports Predictor App. So let's just jump right on into it. It's the Go Bowling at the Glen at Watkins Glen. It was a road course. The winner there was Kyle Larson, taking the lead there with 5 laps to go on a restart. We've lost William. Oh, there he is. Okay, now he's back right there. Let's, should we just jump? Well, first of all, let's just say best road course race of the season. I mean, really
by
good.
Far, by far.
Yeah, by far. Tons of drama. The rain certainly helped. I thought it was a little unfortunate that the race got pushed back just because of the European audience. Obviously, you had Kimi Räikkönen, a lot of Europeans were going to go ahead and tune into this. So a touch unfortunate just because of the start time, but NASCAR can't really control the weather and the lightning holds that they put on it. But boy, once the race started, yeah, first stage was, really awesome. Third stage was really good. Racing throughout the entire thing. Yeah, best road course. And then the controversial inning. I've actually already heard Kyle Larson's quote today because the guys are at Martinsville. They're doing the testing there for the next 2 days, and Hendricks got both of his. You remember Hendricks no stranger to controversy, right? Between Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson back in the days. Now you're getting Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott. I agree with you. It's a racing incident. Like, okay, so you can't bump guys. You can't take guys out. Maybe the slide job people don't like. There was no contact between those. At some point, we got to let these cars race. So if you have a problem with that, then what are you doing watching racing? I mean, at some point, we've got to let these guys race. His front right got locked up. I mean, these guys are just racing. I don't have a problem with that. They did their competition meeting, and Kyle Larson said it was him just sitting back doing most of the listening. Sounds like he would handle things differently, but yeah, we both see it as a racing incident. You want to talk about that maybe a touch more?
Yeah, like, for instance, Chase Elliott, I don't know why, like, he is the most popular driver, but I don't know why everybody wants to stick up for him. He is a very dirty racer. And for him to go after the race and make the comments that his teammate was in the wrong, it just, well, my opinion, like, you don't have the right to go out and say that. He did it to Harvick last year at the Roval. He did it at Bristol also. It's a sore loser for one. But you did not go out and say publicly that your teammate was at fault for that. It's a racing incident. And also, NASCAR, NBC wants to keep the good guy titled right beside Chase Elliott. Remember, on that last restart, he did spin the 8 car on that restart. So, NASCAR missed that, by the way, but he did spin them out. Look it up. It's out there.
Yeah. Kyle Larson, of those two, though, probably has the bigger concern. He doesn't really have big sponsors, obviously, like a Chase Elliott at 9, right? Obviously, we know why Kyle Larson, lacks a major headline sponsor because of his, history and controversy that he has. So, yeah, he probably does have to maybe watch his manners a little bit, but that's a racing incident. If we can't be okay with that, what are we talking about here? The guy's got to go ahead and race. Hey, what were your thoughts on Kimi Räikkönen? At times was running, way up there in the front. Obviously got involved with the incident, was unable to finish his day, but obviously attracted a lot of viewership, from the European audience coming in to NASCAR. impressive little debut. What'd you think of him?
I liked it. I like Kimi Räikkönen. I thought he was a good driver in Formula One, and when he decided to make the transition for a one-time deal in the Cup Series at Watkins Glen, I knew he was going to do good. We're heading into the race weekend. We had our expectations kind of low, 25th or higher. He finished below, but if he did not get involved with that wreck from Chastain, he would have probably finished higher than 25th. So,
For sure.
Good weekend overall for him. And for other drivers out there wanting to do that 91 car in Project 91, I'm sure they're feeling a little bit motivated now because Kimi Räikkönen just went in and had a great weekend.
Yeah, I think he's going to be back. No big surprise he was good because Trackhouse has been good, all season long. They've been able to put out speed at any of these, races. You know what Kimi Räikkönen, obviously his pedigree is with the F1. So yeah, good. I hopefully he does come back because that was a lot of audience. I mean, just look at the main guys that report on Twitter in terms of reported on it, and look at their replies. Lots of European guys chiming in there on their responses. So love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Any more thoughts there on the road course? We didn't get any surprises. Obviously, we had a repeat winner. We'll talk about it here. We're talking about Daytona. Tons of surprises and tons of everything's on the line right here. So anything else though on Watkins Glen?
I guess I can say I look like a genius after last week's episode. I did call it. Cody Ware obviously not going to make the playoffs at all, but Corey LaJoie is now officially eliminated from playoff contention. He is 70-something points behind, and most he can get behind is 60. He's out of the playoffs. So I kind of called that last week, but yeah, there we go.
You called Corey LaJoie not make. You really going out on a limb there, William.
Yeah.
Although, what if he would have won Atlanta? Obviously, he had that incident with Chase Elliott right there at the end. Boy, if he doesn't get into that, he could have a win under his belt, and then obviously a lot better standing coming into Daytona. He would still be below on the points and still be ineligible.
But he could still have a chance to get in, though.
Yeah,
he would still have a chance to point his way in.
Right. All right, let's go ahead and turn our attention then, because this is the big race. This is what NASCAR wants, is a big race in this spot. It's the reason why they have it the Superspeedway. We've come into this with a dream scenario in terms of anybody wanting to win their way in, because we've only got 15. So win your way in, and you'll be one of these guys. Obviously, you mentioned LaJoie and Ware. There's some guys that are ineligible due to their points. But basically speaking, it's a win and you're in. Big unknown here at the Coke Zero 400 Daytona Superspeedway. Big unknown. I'm looking for chaos galore, wrecks galore, guys pushing like hell during the third stage, second stage, just trying to get all the points they can. I've been on a nice little roll betting NASCAR 4-2 2 weeks ago. Last week I only did one bet. Got that one and only bet to cash. I'm not betting this weekend. That's how much just absolute chaos and just mayhem I'm expecting. Or you think it's all going to be on the line too, and it's going to be big wrecks all throughout and just mayhem?
I would say this. I think it's going to be calm for the first half of the race, and after that, that's when all hell's going to break loose. And I believe that Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr. are going to have two completely different strategies. I believe that Blaney will go out and try to get the points and go for the stage win while Martin Truex Jr. just rides around. Because Truex is viewing this as pretty much a must-win situation. He is like 27 behind. He's going to have to take a lot to make that up. So might as well try to set yourself up for the win and ride around in the back because nothing's going to happen there. Just play it safe.
Toyotas don't impress me, though, at the super speedways. Hamlin's got some good numbers at the super speedways, but large in part, Toyotas, they don't really fear me. So I think Truex is up against it. I'm going to be shocked. To me, it's obviously the 15 guys we know that are locked in. Blaney is obviously sitting in the sweet spot. And can anybody take it away from Blaney? I mean, are we going to sit here and predict an unknown? We'll reveal our picks obviously here in a little bit on the Nbc Sports Predictor app, but I don't see Truex taking the spot. I can't see it. It's Blaney or a surprise winner.
I say neither of them getting to the playoffs. We'll see why here in a minute, but yeah, I think none of them make it in.
Wait, let's also touch on, what about Kurt Busch? You saw the quote there from, what's his name, Steve or Scott, the NASCAR? Scott Miller, yeah. He's saying that if Kurt Busch continues to be out, they're going to keep giving him exemptions, and whenever he's, returns from his brain injury, they're going to let him jump right back in and be a playoff driver, whether that's at Darlington, or he indicated in his quote on Sirius Radio that it could be after Darlington, they would still give him an exemption and let him jump back in. I'm not expecting anything when he does return. You got a guy already kind of talking retirement. You got a guy with a head injury. I think whenever he comes in, he's going to be really just non-competitive. But what do we think? I mean, is this even fair? I don't even think this is fair. They just have a cutoff to me. If you're not backed by Darlington, your spot's gone and we're going to give it to somebody else. This allowing it to kind of be, hey, whenever you return, I don't like that. I don't like that. What's he now missed? 4? This Daytona will be 5 weeks, wouldn't it? Wouldn't Daytona be his 5th race in a row? To me, you got to pull the plug.
I'll say this. Kurt Busch, before his brain injury at Pocono, he was running a lot more competitive than he has been in the past. New Hampshire, for an example, top 5 the whole entire day. I like what I've seen out of him before that injury occurred. I think when he comes back, he'll be up there contending for the win week in and week out. He's that good of a driver. He's a former champion of the sport. So you can never count out the young driver from Las Vegas, Nevada out anything at all.
I just look at a guy that's kind of already got his foot out the door, talking retirement. You're not talking a hand injury, a leg. You're talking about your brain. You're talking about your brain, and that's a serious thing. I can't see him being all that competitive. Like I said, he's already got one foot out the door, so to speak.
I can say this. If they know Kurt Busch is not going to come back at all for the first round, Toyota may interfere and say, hey, 2311 Racing, Martin Truex Jr. is the first guy out. Let's give up your spot and let him in, because that can very well happen, because they can say no to the waiver and just go on from that. They don't have to accept the waiver. The waiver is there to either accept or decline it.
Almost that's not.
That's
even,
why I think Toyota.
That's not even fair, because that'd be Toyota waiting to see what happens at Daytona. Oh, and if our guy is 17, who it is Truex, to your point, he is a Toyota. They'll just pull that. To me, you can't. That's kind of a. I don't know. I kind of like that move. I don't like that. I hear you. It's great strategy.
If Truex goes out and wins, Blaney's the first guy out. I am sure they'll be willing to wait a lot longer to make a decision. I don't think they'll easily give up their spot.
That's what I'm saying. So they want to have their cake and eat it too, right? They want to see, is a Toyota there at number 17? Is he in the sweet spot? They want to see what happens at Daytona. That's a little unfair.
This wouldn't be the first time in history where Martin Truex Jr. got the little bit of an edge when it came to the playoffs, and NASCAR decided to give him an extra spot. Back in 2013, with Spingate, Clint Boyer spun at Richmond, brought out a caution, which ended up causing Newman not to win the race, and it allowed Truex to make it in. But NASCAR decided, hey, you can't do that, Clint. We're going to take Truex out. We're going to add Carl Edwards, I think it was, and Jeff Gordon, and make the 12-man playoff to a 13-man playoff. It's crazy, and this wouldn't be the first time NASCAR has done something like that.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy this weekend, guys, at Daytona. I'm with William. That third stage, it's going to be absolutely mayhem. I mean, this is everything on the line to try and make the playoffs. If Truex does, let's say if your scenario does pan out and Truex sneaks his way in through, maybe a waiver thing, or maybe he's going to be a dangerous one, even though he's had a bad season. I think that's a driver like you don't want getting hot, right? Like nobody wanted Harvick to get hot. He's got some good numbers at some of these playoff tracks. Truex is a guy also you wouldn't want to come in with a little bit of momentum. He can get on a roll too, and he could do some damage. We know he's dominated Darlington at times. He's got a win there and just dominated the field. So, all right. Let's go ahead. You anything else on Darlington, or do you want to get to our picks?
Let's get to the picks here. It's a big weekend, so stay tuned for things that happen. You can win a lot of money this weekend, but you can also lose a lot of money this weekend here at Daytona. So hopefully our predictions here in a little while kind of help you make a decision or two. So there we go.
All right, let's go ahead and turn now to the Nbc Sports Predictor App. As you can see, you can win $10,000. They give you 3 stages. You got to pick the driver to finish best amongst the stage, and then you've also got to go ahead and give them a top 3 all season long. I'm giving away $25 to the winner of the Winning Bets League. If you need that league information, you can grab it from this video description. It's pretty simple. We all start off with 0 points. It's just have the most points, and you can win my $25. Let's take a look and see who won last week. It was Kush Delight. Kush Delight winning with 60 points. Nice entry by them. They got Larson in first place. They had Allmendinger finish in P3. He finished in P2. So just a nice entry there by Kush Delight. Don't forget to hit me up on Twitter. Drop me your PayPal information, and I'll send you $25. Just one extra note. I know because the gentleman commented on last video, JC, who won last week. I know you said you don't have Twitter, so you can't hit me up. Find somebody that does. Drop me your information. I've been giving away money for 2.5 years, and I've never not given away money. Everybody will say if you win, I give you your money. I'm not hiding from you, Jay. Find a way to get me your PayPal information, and I'll pay you. So just wanted to mention that because I know you commented on the video, and I assume you'll be watching this week as well. So, all right, with that being said, let's jump on into our picks for stage one. We got to pick between Byron, Cindric, Reddick, and Suarez. Let me get our picks up, and you can go ahead and talk about yours first, and then I'll come in behind you. You like Cindric, or we both like Cindric, obviously, in stage one?
Yeah, your Daytona 500 winner, Austin Cindric, is not a bad guy to go with. Has nothing to lose, so I'm sure he's going to try to go out for the stage win. So Austin Cindric for stage number one would be the best way to go with, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought this one was pretty cut and clear. Pinning him up against Byron, Reddick, and Suarez with what Cindric has done, his pedigree here at Daytona Superspeedways. I was with you. That was pretty cut and dry. I also thought stage two was cut and dry between Kyle Busch, Chastain, Hamlick, and Harvick. I picked between Ross Chastain. Again, I'm not big on Toyotas. Of the Toyotas, though, you certainly have to think Hamlin will probably be the better of the one. But I'm going to go with Chastain. Just been Mr. Consistency. Been strong at Atlanta earlier on this season. So I'll take Chastain here in stage two.
I will also take a big wreck caused by Ross Chastain in stage number two. But I'm going with Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin is a multiple-time Daytona 500 winner. Has nothing to lose. He's going to go for the stage win. Playoff points and stage points are big for that 11 team. So he's going to try it and go get them.
All right, for stage three, we had to pick between Blaney, Elliott, Larson, Truex. To me, it just came down to which of these four drivers do I trust the most. It's Blaney. I think Blaney's going to be pushing hard to get the win. God forbid a Stenhouse, a Dillon, an Eric Jones, somebody like that steals his all-important 16th spot. He's going to be going for it. Of these four guys, I trust Blaney the most. He's got the pedigree, so easy choice for me going with Blaney.
Yeah, I'm going with Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. is entering this race in pretty much a must-win situation, and I think he's going to try to go out for it all when it's said and done. So there you go, Martin Truex Jr. Kind of lame, but at the same time, in years past, when a driver came to Daytona on the borderline, they always seem to put the pressure to the side and go out there and get the job done. That's happened in the past, and it wouldn't be surprising if it happened again.
Yeah, Truex he's been awfully disappointing this season. I mean, he shouldn't be in this position with how we've predicted him in some races, based on stats and everything. He's just not getting it done. Obviously not getting it done. Doesn't have a win and sitting just below the cutoff line there in points. All right, let's go ahead and give these guys a top three. You got to nail a top three to give that $10,000. Let's go ahead and throw yours up, and then we'll throw mine up. So, all right, talk us through your top three, William.
All right, here, Todd Gilliland, a rookie for Front Row Motorsports, will find himself in victory lane Saturday night at the Coca-Cola 400. Get my words mixed up here. Guys, I'm so sorry here. But Todd Gilliland, my man, is going to go to victory lane and make the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. The driver coming in second place will be Justin Haley, a phenomenal superspeedway racer. Won numerous times here in the Xfinity Series. It also has a cup win here back in the year 2019 in the 77 car. So, never count out Justin Haley in college racing in general. Third place, Martin Truex Jr. At third place, really ain't going to do much because Gilliland wins.
All right, as you guys can see right there, mine are taking the checkered flag. I went with Michael McDowell, Austin Dillon, and Bubba Wallace rounding out the top three. Just went with guys that have super speedway experience, guys I expect to have good runs. That being said, like I said earlier in this broadcast, I'm not betting this, even though I've been on a nice run at NASCAR. This is going to be mayhem. Guys are going to have to avoid the carnage, avoid the wrecks. They're going to be there in stage three. They're going to be there in plenty. This is an absolute toss-up. This week is an absolute toss-up. It's what NASCAR loves. This is why, how many seasons in a row have they put Daytona here at the cutoff race? It's been a few in a row, and you understand why, because we've never seen a year where we've had 17 winners. We always come into this spot, at this track, where you can win your way in, and what better track to have a win your way in than the big unknown at a super speedway? I love it, and, it gets a spotlight Saturday night. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah. You don't want to miss stage one, miss stage two. Do not miss stage three, folks. It's going to be electric.
I'll say this, though. It's going to be in a very exciting weekend. In NASCAR, when they decided to move this race from the 4th of July weekend to the regular season finale, their goal and mine was to make this race the most relevant race of the year. They wanted to get the most out of it, and this year they're clearly doing that. It's pretty much a win or go home scenario for the drivers from Martin Truex Jr. all the way to Todd Gilliland, who's 30th in points. So, bravo, NASCAR. I didn't really expect to be saying that this time of year. I thought we would have well below 16 or 15 different winners. But we're here at the spot right now where a win is pretty much the only way to get in.
Yeah, it's going to be stuff. All right, before I go ahead and say this, we will circle back here and grab your comments. We're, of course, recording this live this week, the Highline Podcast. But the one thing I wanted to mention real quick was the Fox Bet Super 6. They still don't have a contest. It comes out later, so we aren't able to give you our answers. Just make sure you're following us on Twitter. We'll try and tweet ours there on the Fox Bet Super 6. With that being said, let's jump in these comment sections, see what we've got going on. We've got Brian. He is ready for some racing. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to see if somebody's going to snatch a spot away from Blaney. I think it's Blaney or somebody else. A little lower on Truex than William. To me, it's Blaney or somebody. So we've got Paul saying, I bet you the 9 races him different from here on out. Yeah, it's 10.
I would say,
I don't quite understand his comment because the playoffs are 10 races. Do you understand quite? And maybe he said that and it made sense. I'm not quite understanding what Paul's comment is there.
He's talking about how the 9 will race a 5 car differently. I believe yes, he will.
I thought 9.
I believe yes, he will. It don't matter about the fact that they're teammates. I believe he will race him differently.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I see. Now I read that again, and I do see that. Yeah. I mean, I just don't have a problem racing the same way. I don't have a problem with anything that was done on that restart with 5 to go. I don't have a problem. He didn't make any contact. His right rear got locked up, or his front right rear got locked, or not right rear. His front right got locked up. What is he supposed to do? I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem. No contact. Yeah. We have to allow these guys to race. And like you said,
definitely.
I mean, Chase Elliott does this crap all the time. You mentioned it, when he blocked Harvick there at Bristol last year. He cost Harvick last year. He wanted to throw his little tantrum towards the end of that race. He's not immune to issues or being the bad guy on the racetrack. Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly.
Reading through. Brian would love to see Blaney. Yeah. I'd love to see Bubba Wallace. I've got a NASCAR future bet on Bubba Wallace to have at least one win this season. That'd be a nice little payday if Bubba Wallace can show up like he did at Talladega last year and get him a win.
Yeah.
The comment here about Kurt. Yeah, Kurt's got so much. Oh, Brian sees Eric Jones winning in the 43. They've Petty. They're doing a lot better. They're doing a lot better.
Talladega earlier this year, he had a chance to win it.
Yeah. Brian, then there's probably the comment right there that we can end the show on. It's going to be mayhem, folks. It's absolutely going to be absolutely mayhem. So make sure you tune in. It's Saturday night. It's the Coke 0400 down at the Daytona Superspeedway. We look forward to watching it, obviously, on Saturday night, and then we look forward to coming back. Next time we come back, we'll know the 16 drivers that'll be in the playoffs where it'll all start. It'll be 10 races to go. We do know Chase Elliott has officially locked up that regular season championship. But soon we'll know the 6 drivers that'll be going for the playoff championship. All right, William, enjoy Saturday night. I can't wait to see who that 16th driver is going to be.
All right, man.
All right, have a good one, everybody.